What is the hardest part about having a sibling with a disability?
You know, when I was younger, when we were growing up, it was, my parents gave him a lot of extra attention. He had that one-on-one time. He got spoiled, rotten, extra gifts. So there's a little bit of the jealousy in there. As we've gotten older, I guess also when I was younger, the expectation that I was to take on the caregiving role and to watch him when my parents couldn't. And then the expectation to always be the good one, not causing any trouble. You know, but as I've gotten older, it's worrying about his safety, security, that people aren't taking advantage of him, and just not having that control.
Knowing that they're never going to have a completely normal life, you know, they're probably always going to have help with things and have somebody to watch out for them. You know, just seeing her not have as many friends and a completely different life than we have.
She gets more attention.
Well, like, it's been pretty easy the past couple of years, but like when I was younger, he was hospitalized a lot, so I never really knew when he was going to be home, or even if he was coming back home. So there was always that, and then, especially when I was younger, I didn't understand it a lot. My parents they spent most of their time dealing with him and learning about him, and I was kind of off to do my own thing, so there is that, but I've kind of grown to get used to it.
I don't know, probably, like I said, it's just normal, I guess. The hardest thing, I guess, is just when people think it's so weird, but it's really not.
Just looking out for her and making sure she's okay and that people aren't judging her.
How do you deal with the situation?
You kind of, as you grow up, you live with it. You learn about it, understand it. You kind of just part of growing up, really. You might feel alone at the beginning, but as you really get into it, you're still your brother and stuff, so it's fun to hang around with.
Depending on the situation, you know, sometimes if he's gotten himself into a sticky situation, you know, if I can talk to him about it, I talk to him about it. Otherwise, you know, venting to friends, my husband, sometimes writing it down and just journaling, sometimes just burying my feelings, kind of really depended.
I just try to think, well, she has autism, but she's just like everybody else, but it's harder to do stuff for her. I just let people, a lot of people are afraid to ask. Well, I'm not afraid to tell. So just making people understand that it's not a big deal, that it's just the way of life, I guess.
What is your relationship with your sibling now?
We're like best friends, so we get along really well.
It's good. We like to play with each other.
We're pretty cool. He's really just my younger brother. He does all the annoying things any other younger sibling would do, and he knows what he's doing.
We're really close. We hang out a lot. She tries to hang out with my friends, and it's just, I mean, we have a normal sibling relationship in the way that we're fighting and arguing, but at the end of the day, we're really close.
I've seen some kids display some attention-seeking behaviors. I've seen some that feel forced to take on the caregiving role, and some they just want to do that caregiving role. I think as kids get older and as an adult, we worry about our siblings' future. You know, what are they going to do when they're done with school? Who's going to take care of them? We worry about guardianship. I think those are some of the most common things that I've seen.
Do you ever wonder about the future and what it will hold for you and your sibling?
Sometimes it's, you know, I don't really like to think about it that much. I just live in the present.
Ever wonder about what the future will hold for your sibling?
A little. I've always wondered, where is she gonna live? What's gonna happen if she's gonna live with me ever? What's gonna happen in the future what's gonna happen if she wants to have kids, and but I'm not too worried about it.
In the future, well, she'll probably stay with my parents until they can't take care of her. And at that point, it'll be up to me and my brother to find out what's going to happen.
I think it should be good when my parents get too old and can't take care of him. He's gonna come live with me, so we'll be together forever, really.
She's pretty stable in what she does. She works for Options of Lynn County, and basically it's an organization that finds all kinds of different work for kids that are developmentally disabled, and so she has jobs through them, and I don't see that changing too much.
He has a job. He works part-time, Hy-Vee, and 5 days a week. He has his own apartment, lives with a girlfriend. He's very involved in Special Olympics year-round, so, I mean, he's doing really good for himself.
Well, what it is right now, we've lost both of our parents now, and my mother used to be the primary caregiver for my sister. And within a couple of years before my mother passed, we had talked to her about, trying to get my sister into a group home, and this has been probably 10 years ago now. And so my sister was in her upper 30s, and we had her middle to upper 30s, and we were, wanting her, to get out of my mother's house, basically, and experience life a little bit differently versus just living with my mother.
What kind of services does the ARC offer to people with special needs?
We have the individual respite. We have group respite opportunities, so we have activities Monday through Friday that are themed. For example, I have bowling every Monday night, every Thursday, Healthy Chefs. We have activities on the weekends that are group settings. We also offer daycare programming, individual skill training. For adults, we have a social group called Voices Unlimited, and we have a couple of different mentor programs that people can participate in.
She's just kind of got her own life here now, living in this group home, and yeah, we're still her brothers, and she has her brothers and brothers here in town, but for the most part, she kind of lives her life, and we live ours, and yeah, we see her once a month or so, and something like that, and get to spend some time together, but and then periodically talk to her on the telephone. So that's kind of how things are, and probably how things will stay going forward too.
When we were younger, he drove me absolutely crazy. As a younger brother, we would fight. Now that we're adults, we are very close. We talk to each other, see each other on a regular basis. I help him out as needed with transportation, give him advice. I'm still the big sister, and I choose to live near him because our mother does live out of town. And so I want to be near him, so I'm always accessible. So, we're really close.